Welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel. It's the evening of October 15th. It's a Thursday evening. And I'm going to go and run another of my one of my most requested reports. That's my a random states daily report where I randomly select U.S. state and do a COVID-19 analysis on it. So let's get started here, shall we? Step one: pick a random state. I think I may have already done Maryland. Let's take a look here. Maryland I've already done. Oh, have I done Ohio? I've done Ohio. I'm pretty sure I did Mississippi. Have I done Virginia? I've done Virginia. I think I may have done New Hampshire also. New Mexico. I thought sure I did. I guess I haven't done New Hampshire yet. Okay then. Let's fire up a little our studio here. Let me see. And as you can see, I got the latest and greatest version of ours is 4.0.3. Let's just run a quick package update and see what happens here. Okay, let's do this. I'm just going to go ahead and start. This should. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to come back to this later. No, no, have you sit and watch me try to install. There's no point in have you sit here and watch me and update my packages. Let's see some here. Okay, so let's save this. And let's get rid of this. And as you well know by now, I tend to do a lot of cutting and pasting at this point of things. This line here, the three set, it modifies the line draw script to have horizontal line dashes instead of solid lines. So there's that. Actually, that's in the wrong spot. It actually belongs up here. Get rid of this. And as you probably realize by now, the first thing we do is pull some data. We pull the state data for New Hampshire. So we come over here. I spent some of my formative years hiking the mountains in New Hampshire with my family, by the way. So let's just run this. That makes no sense. So let's put it down here. There we go. Load that. Now let's come down here. Let's just load some. Let's load our data. You can see that the average number of cases per day is 43, with a maximum of 200. The maximum of 217. Excuse me. The average number of deaths is 2 per day, with the maximum of 19. So what are we going to do next here? First of all, let's come down here. Let's calculate. Let's plot the cumulative days and the cumulative. Do I have a? I do. I thought I'm moving the tile right up to the top, but I figure I'll just let's do the cumulative totals first. First of all, let's take a look at our data frame here. So what you can see, obviously, the date, the state name, total cases, cumulative cases, total deaths, cumulative deaths. Those are the total number of deaths to date. Okay. New cases are daily cases, so each row contains only the total cases and the total deaths for that particular day. All right. So up here you can see we're going to plot the cumulative totals using total cases, total deaths. Let's see what we got here. Okay, cases in New Hampshire. Everybody had that huge spike back in April. Leveled off a little bit, but now it's starting to trend up a little bit. What about deaths in New Hampshire? First of all, you notice there's only 300, 354, 450, 400. So for the total deaths you have is probably about 450 deaths to date. Okay, that's the cases again. So let's get rid of that. Come back over here. Let's do a let's do the cases and deaths by date. Okay, cases and deaths by date. Let's get rid of this for right now. Hopefully we won't need that. Hopefully there won't be any anomalies in our data. Let's see what the total deaths and total cases. Okay, so here you go. Cases. The lowest curve is just a way of fitting data to a curve. That kind of allows us to see the underlying trend or pattern. You know what's going on. So what you can see here, we had a spike back in April when everybody did, but now cases are starting to spike again, back up to here. And this is 100. So this is about 7 cases are spiking about 75 per day. Now, what about deaths? Their highest, single deaths per day was like 17 or something like that. But the average is that a fitted curve has it around 6 or 7 maybe deaths per day, with a decline here and a slight increase back over here. Okay, so if this is 5, then this must be, I don't know, 2.5 or something like that. So the deaths on average are still, are still like really extremely low. Okay. What about the mortality rate for the live free or die state? Okay, so here we go. If this is 10, so that means the mortality rate is, well, for this first two-thirds, it was over 10%. Okay, the average is over 10%. Okay, this is just 5. Come across here, you can see the mortality rate over the last couple months has fallen a little bit. I'm not really sure how accurate this data is. So now let's take a look at monthly cases and deaths. I'm sorry, weekly cases and deaths. In many cases, this the weekly is actually much more useful than the daily. So what you can see here, this huge spike back here. Okay, then it's kind of level off about 200, 200 and 500. Okay, cases. Well, the cases are still. Let's take a look at this. Well, interesting enough, their death is actually following their pattern of cases. Okay, spike here, spike towards the end. But weekly deaths are still extremely low. This is 10, so you're talking, 15 to 3 deaths per week. Okay, so that's not a whole lot. That's not a whole lot to be concerned with. But again, the population of New Hampshire is not really that large, so you would expect a low number of death rates. So finally, let's take a look at the monthly numbers. Monthly cases. Well, you can see, that September was 1,000 cases. October so far is over 1,000 cases, so this is not a good sign. As far as deaths are concerned, the deaths are still extremely good. I mean, this is 25 deaths. So in August they had less than 25 deaths. In September they had even less than that. Although right now the deaths are October deaths 2 weeks in have passed August deaths. So that takes care of the report. Let's just run it once from the top to make sure we didn't miss anything. Once again, average cases 41, maximum cases 217 for a single day. Average deaths two deaths per day with a maximum 19. Uh, Nothing really shocking about the cumulative total. You expect them to go up continuously, although there was a bit of a flattening here. Okay, but when we look at the cases by date, we see cases are definitely spiking. Uh, the lowest curve was even above the April curve for cases, which still means they're under 100. Deaths, yeah, you see a little bit of trend up there, but again, that this line's 5, so this is like 2.5 deaths per day. Say 2.5 deaths per day is what they're currently looking at in New Hampshire. Uh, mortality rate, average mortality rate again is a tad over 5%, and they seem to be getting their mortality rate under control towards the end here. Okay, so we got this here. All right, this climb up here as far as cases by week. But yet deaths continued. They had a little spike here in deaths last week. My goodness, it was almost up to 15 deaths last week. But with 2 days to go, it looks like we're going to fall back down to this range right down around here, which is 3 to 5. Monthly cases, once again, you can see October's already past uh, September, and it's actually caught June's days, and it's almost caught June. Deaths continue to remain extremely low. Again, this line's 25. So overall, I would say New Hampshire is still doing pretty good. The cases are a little high, but everybody's experiencing cases. Okay, everybody's experiencing cases now, and increasing cases. I'm not sure it's anything to be that concerned about, particularly when they're only talking a couple hundred cases a day. So thanks so much for your time today, and thanks so much for those 40 people, 30, 40 people have already subscribed to my YouTube channel now. Is that what I have? 40 subscribers. Thank you, 40 people out there who subscribe. You know who you are, and I appreciate every single one of you folks out there. So let's go ahead and do a push. And we'll catch you on the next report. Thanks so much for your time.